Now, the anti-American rallies started exactly a week ago and have rapidly spread to countries and continents, including Europe, where some Muslims are calling for holy war. Amid the flames and fury, a German far-right group is planning to stage a screening of the film in Berlin. As RT's Laura Smith reports, the unrest could trigger the EU's own storm, which has been brewing for years.
It started in the Middle East. But now the protests against a film Muslims say is an insult to Islam have spread, and they've arrived in Europe. At least 120 Muslims were arrested at a protest in Antwerp. It's no longer about burning down US embassies in Muslim countries. In Europe, they're calling for holy war. London saw similar scenes. Demonstrators outside the US Embassy following Friday prayers, and up to 1,000 again on Sunday. Tempers flared and flags were burnt. Analysts point out the small scale of European protests compared to those in the Middle East, but they say local Islamists are using this to recruit new members, a worrying sign.
And certainly you've got, as I say, mainstream extremists, for want of a better word, groups that are looking to exploit this in order to encourage usually young men to come and join them and try and get into a habit of protest, a habit of extremist demands and demonstrations. And that's always an area to be concerned about.
And it's already prompted a backlash.
As US embassies all over Europe come under siege from angry Muslims, a far-right Islamophobe group in Germany says it wants to put on a screening of the controversial film The Innocence of Muslims. The pro-Deutschland citizens movement say it's a question of art and freedom of expression. But Germany's Interior Ministry has accused them of recklessly pouring oil on the fire.
It's a fire that radical Muslims in the UK are all too happy to fan the flames of.
The Muslims are rising not only in the East, but even in the West. We want Islam and we want the Sharia. People hate the Americans and they hate their allies. And I think this is a very good turning point for the Muslims.
Protests were sparked by the film, but they've taken on a wider dimension. They're also about foreign policy of America and its allies.
The fact of the matter is the Americans bear full responsibility for what's taking place. They had troops inside the Middle East, they've killed Muslims, they've occupied land, and the fact that someone's lost their life, unfortunately, it's only for themselves to blame.
And what started as a conflict between East and West threatens to become a domestic struggle inside Europe. Laura Smith, RT, London.